When we think of what a fighting game should strive to be, what it should attempt to emulate if not surpass, many veterans of the genre will reel off familiar names like Street Fighter, Dead or Alive, Mortal Kombat, Virtua Fighter, Tekken, and Soulcalibur. Each of these ring-worn series are unique in their own right and have managed to engulf the fighting game scene, with Namco giving birth to not one, but two of those global fighting franchises, with Tekken and Soulcalibur, the latter being a sequel, originally debuting under the name of Soul Edge. However, recently we've seen a lot of lackluster efforts by these franchises. For now, Soulcalibur V makes a positive return for the series, though few too many shortcomings prevent it from claiming its place on the stage of history. Okay, we're gonna start with the bad news and work our way to the good. Soulcalibur V's story is excruciatingly disappointing. It's just terrible. Yes, of course, Calibur has never been known for its deep campaigns, and after all, this is a fighting game, so it's tough to really figure out how to construct a structured story. But no, this is atrocious. The dismal offering provided is just unacceptable. The story follows the generic, unlikable Patroclus, or Patroclus, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. A typically uncharismatic individual who believes he's some sort of almighty authority due to his privileged upbringing. In a tale of nonsensical babble and boredom, Patroclus embarks on a search to find and eventually cure his lost and malfested sister, Pyra. We said malfested, not molested. Pyra's fragile little mind has been corrupted by Soul Edge, a cursed sword with an insatiable appetite for souls. Patroclus discovers that the only weapon capable of saving his sister from the malfestation coursing through her veins is none other than the blessed sword Soulcalibur. Thus, an emotionless, whimsical, cliche, and downright grating story ensues over the next couple of hours. Yes, we said couple of hours. Alright, now that we're done with that crap, let's move on to what matters, the gameplay. The Soulcalibur series has always posed a low barrier for entry. It's easy to pick up, but hard as hell to master. Players can perform colorful strikes and fancy moves with relative ease, encouraging hesitant newcomers to pick up the controller and have a go. However, in the hands of a skilled veteran, or someone who has bothered to spend some time training instead of the temptation to just button mash your way to victory, Soulcalibur V ruthlessly separates the superior from the inferior in a poetic battle of blocking and striking. The game introduces a number of constructive gameplay changes, all of which vastly improve the experience and build upon the series' solid foundations. The most notable design decision is the new Super Gauge, or Critical Gauge, which allows players to execute Brave Edge and Critical Edge attacks. Once charged by dealing or receiving damage, players can unleash a spectacular Brave Edge or flashy Critical Edge combo, akin to Street Fighter IV's Ultra Combo system. Successfully performing such attacks can turn the tide of battle in your favor, as if it wasn't easy enough to already make swift comebacks from behind. Attack is the best form of defense, though there will be times when your only option is to guard. Ring outs are still a feature of Soulcalibur's three-dimensional fighting plane, forcing players to keep a constant eye on their positioning. If you find yourself on the edge of a cliff or something, just put down the controller and ease your pulsating palms, because you're most likely dead anyway. But if there is one ultimate nail in the coffin of Soulcalibur V, it's the fact that there is no way to change the difficulty of the game. If you're a casual gamer, very early on, you're going to get your ass handed to you on a silver platter, in which circumstance you'll constantly curse at the television, citing cheap deaths as the cause. The only way, as far as we could tell, to make the game easier is to lose a match on purpose. And then the game offers to lower the difficulty. Now that is just ridiculous. Every game should come equipped with difficulty sliders, especially fighting games. There's no excuse, Namco.
Perfect.
The game's presentation is dependent on whether you view the glass as half full or half empty. On one hand, the campaign is a lazy slop of crap. Tedious hand-sketched static storyboards rudely occupy 90% of the actual campaign. Opting to avoid the use of CGI cutscenes, Soulcalibur V forces you to stare numbly at the often colorless sketches of characters' faces, objects, or a crudely drawn background. This is the best they could do, like seriously? On the other hand, if you're a glass half full kind of guy, Soulcalibur V is an outstanding visual treat, in the actual gameplay anyway. The graphics are some of the best for any beat 'em up with rich textures, vibrant outfits, impressive cloth physics, and alluring assets on female fighters. Thank you, Japanese digital perverts. Stages are detailed and varied with backgrounds filled with action set pieces. The frame rate is also silky smooth and rock solid. Perfect. The roster of Soulcalibur V is fairly strong, though it's becoming slightly superfluous, but it has enough distinct styles and fan favorites available to choose from, like Maxi, Mitsurugi, and Siegfried. Other older characters like Taki have been replaced and reimagined with similar characters who essentially bear the same traits, albeit with a few new tricks up their sleeves, but many of them are just cliche. I mean, why replace the old characters? The inclusion of Assassin's Creed's Ezio Auditore works surprisingly well as the cameo, and is far more in keeping with the style of the game than the appearance of Darth Vader and Yoda in Soulcalibur 4, which, make no mistake, was awesome to see, but it made no sense in terms of a fighting game, i.e. lightsabers that do as much damage as a small sword. Even though the majority of characters in Soulcalibur V are relatively accessible in their ease of use, players will generally find that a certain character will resonate more to their skill set than others. This pretty much holds true for all fighting games. The game is more enjoyable when you can actually pull off a couple of exciting moves. That being said, Patroclus is personally an absolute slog to use. Other characters are as well, and unless you go into training and dedicate some time to learn their skill sets, they can just be pretty much useless. Anyway, why the hell would we want to play as Patroclus or Pyra when, again, we want to play as the old characters like Voldo or Raphael or Nightmare? It's old characters for the win, not these fucking new cliche bullshit. The arcade mode is still as fun as ever, though the number of participants you face has been culled to 6, which shortens proceedings quite a bit. Players can change the participants they face with a European route or Asian route, allowing particular opponents to appear. For the more skilled and capable player, once story mode has been completed, a Legendary Souls difficulty option is available for you to test your might. And test your might it will. Quick Battle is the final offline single-player offering, pitting you in numerous battles with the reward of unlocking titles and online profile rewards. So all in all, there is a lot to offer, but don't expect it to take up much of your time as each mode is noticeably short. That said, if you choose to take the fight online, and you most definitely will thanks to the lack of offline offering, Soulcalibur V delivers a lag-free platform with a great matchmaking system. It is really fun. The extra competitive element of a skilled human opponent is immensely satisfying, and where Soulcalibur V's fantastic fighting mechanics truly shine. Or you can go local. Either way, playing with a friend is our diagnosis. It is just the way to play the game, if nothing else to actually stand a chance for the not-so-hardcore. Soulcalibur's soul still burns in the 5th rendition, though not as brightly as many may have hoped. Glorious visuals, a superb fighting system, and a strong online component signal a return to form for Soulcalibur, though this pretty much is the same game it always has been. Unfortunately, a short single-player offering, a lack of a proper tutorial, and some other presentational shortcomings may deter some from entering this stage of history.